Good morning and welcome to the Break of Dawn newspaper review, second day in the month of December 2022. My name is Adenike Ademuwagun.
Good morning, dear listener. I am Olutayo, Ogunade. It's a beautiful Friday and the very first in the month of December. Professor Olu Ojedokun joins us on the program. He's a lawyer and a lecturer at the Leeds City University. Good morning, Prof.
Well, top of the day, and it's a pleasure.
All right, we'll take some stories now and we'll come back for some analysis.
The Punch this morning, governors stealing LG funds, says Buhari. NULG backs president. Politicians behind attacks on INEC facilities. This is coming from Jega. Stop using thugs, NSA warns governors. Few queues grow longer after federal government sufficiency claim. To the major story, federal allocations. Oil-producing states borrow 1.3 trillion naira amid 6.4 trillion naira windfall. And there are riders to that. Pandef, others, ask Niger Delta governors to showcase development projects. Oil-producing states received 1.9 trillion naira as derivation fund under Buhari minister. 13% derivation includes Despadec funds, money judiciously spent, says Delta. You can also find Oyetola Adeleke disagree over 76 billion naira unpaid salaries, pensions. To the red corner of the Punch, you'll find cultist shoots ex-student dead in Yabatek, suspect nabbed. And finally, on the Punch, Aisha Nan's plan protest sweeps knock critic.
Right from Premium Times, how governors chairman perpetuates corruption at local government level. That's from Mr. Buhari there. Speaking, federal government blames governors for rising poverty in Nigeria. Nigerian military kills over 44 terrorists, arrest 47 others. Court jails ex-Akwa Ibom finance commissioner 42 years for corruption. Alleged defamatory tweet, Aisha Buhari to testify against university students. NFIU receives reports of on 150 trillion naira suspicious transactions in 3 months. Some more from Premium. Police allegedly assault ex-Kano anti-corruption boss. 2023 court dismisses ex-AGF suit challenging Benue APC governor candidate or governorship candidate. The letter man, a timeless historical document. And I can see the picture of Goodluck Jonathan here. Court jails former vice chancellor 7 years for fraud. Nigerian boy trafficked to Cameroon sold into slavery.
And moving to the Vanguard, Lagos to begin issuance of international driver's permit. We can also find 11 years meritorious service. RITA stands still. And you can also find angry youths set ablaze Oba Palace in Osun. Oyetola left 76 billion naira salary, pension debts. Delta government prioritizes access to justice. Okowa. World Cup 2022, Japan shocks Spain to make knockouts as Germany crash out. Gunshots, members kick as new NYCN leadership in Edo resume duties. Flood, over 100 facilities destroyed in Ogbaru. Abusive campaigns, APC, PDP, LP, trade blames. And we can also find 2023, we're coming for your thugs. NSA warns governors obstructing opposition campaign. Oshiomhole unstable. Focus on whereabouts of your imported wife. This is coming from Atiku. Aero restructured into 4 business units as airline restarts operations. Zulum asks police to arrest culprits behind political violence in Borno. And you can find 2023, INT'L knocks political parties over threats to Nigeria's democracy.
And from, Adenike.
Okay.
Sorry, I brought in there.
Move to another paper.
Oh, okay. All right, from Daily Trust, Abuja Kaduna train service will resume today. On Monday. That's federal government. Abuja Kaduna train service will resume on Monday. Federal government. So, Obasanjo, we get away with so many stupid things in Nigeria. How terrorists are exploiting northern residents under guise of protection. Naira redesign. What CBN must do urgently. How lack of sensitization orders curtailed ban on tricycles on major roads in Kano. Some more here from Daily Trust. Buhari shares experience with corrupt governor. Campaign, caution your thugs. NSA wants governors. Passengers traveling to Abuja abducted in Kogi. RMAFC, some CBN, NPA employees earn more salaries than Buhari. 2023, UN rules women participation, seek actions on inclusiveness. Just Disco to roll out 400,000 meters in Plateau orders. Nigeria must get it right in 2023 chambers. Silva Bayosa is an APC state. We will take over. CBN spent $65 billion to stabilize Naira in 5 years. CBN spent $65 billion to stabilize Naira in 5 years. NDE trains 25 Bochi youths on solar energy installation. World AIDS Day, and that was yesterday. Bochi records over 2,000 HIV cases in 2022. Let's see. Airline take profit as Aero resumes with 10 routes.
Daily Post 2022 World Cup. 12 countries eliminated from tournament. You can also find media advocacy group urges Oluwabori to prevail on youths to end vandalism, oil theft. 2023 Iro Ukpai decries Abia's crumbling infrastructure, rising debt profile. Relief as Ilorin receives 31 trucks of fuel supply. In Zamfara, police nabbed 6 suspected criminals. Female gun runner rescue 14 kidnapped victims. Landlord commits suicide in Calabar. Kwara, Governor Abdulrazak denies sacking civil servants. It's time to pass gender bill, Senator Olujimi. Palm wine tapper shot dead by hunter in Ondo. World AIDS Day, 36,797 persons living with HIV in Niger. There is carryover of 76 billion naira in debt as salaries, pensions from Oyetola administration or Osun government. Tinubu's opponents have no track records. Deputy Governor Afuye host Father Xmas assures Ekiti of adequate security. Stop punishing lecturers for striking. Pay us. ASU Futo to federal government. And 2 more stories. Hoodlums allegedly set palace on fire in Osun. And finally, God is a Nigerian. Obasanjo.
And from The Guardian, NGF quiet as federal government shifts blame for high poverty to governors. AIDS Day, no end to infection by 2030 as 1.8 million Nigerians live with HIV. Sanwo-Olu at campaign promises better tomorrow. Oyetola's appointees left with official vehicles. Orders, Adenike reviews. Okay, still from The Guardian. Timothy Adegoke's murder trial stalled as Adedoyin fails to produce witness. Humanitarian minister now claims 206 billion naira inserted in ministry's budget for military equipment. APC admits Oyetola orders took away official vehicles. Okay, owners of land acquired for Second Niger Bridge protest unpaid compensation. Waneze denies parallel Secretary General, and Adamu tasks examination agencies on use of ICT orders to tackle more practice. We take our first commercial break. We'll be back.
FM 94.9.
Christ Mercy International Church presents 21 days powerful revival. Níbi tí Ọlọ́run ti ṣetán láti lo àwọn òjíṣẹ́ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àkórí tọdún yìí. Igi gbígbẹ́ léyìí, ògì gbígbẹ́ nú ayé wa ni ó yè láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Tí yóò sì máa wáyé ní gbogbo aago 5 di aago 8 àṣálẹ́ ọjọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti 1st of December to 21st of December nínú ọdún tá a wà yìí. Prophet Mayowa Moses Fèyíjì àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run bíi Prophet Olúfẹ́mi Òní, Prophet Paul Ademodi, Apostle Olúwaṣẹ́gun Olúwaṣọgbọ́n, Prophet Adesoji Ọ̀nàbánjọ, Apostle Elijah Olúṣọlá, Prophet Augustine Ogena, Prophet Paul Arole Jésù, Prophet Ṣẹ́gun George, Prophet Samuel Olúdáre, tó fi mọ́ Prophet Isaac Jayiola, pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ olórin ẹ̀mí bíi Akíntúndé Ìlàjà Ọlọ́run ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Ẹnìtàn Olúṣẹ́gun Bámidélé EOB, Bose Super àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Gbogbo nínú gbọ̀ngàn ìjọ wa tó wà ní number 35 Adamoleko Street beside Butterlight Bread, Ìmọ̀lẹ́ Fálàfíà Òkè Àdó Ìbàdàn. It's 08077309381. Jésù dúdì yóò. Shalom.
Ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́ Waka Now Travel Fest ti padà dé bíbà nínú gbogbo oṣù November ní bẹ́bẹ́ yóò máa lọ wá jẹ́ gbádùn àwọn ìdúnàdúrà tí kò lẹ́gbẹ́ fún àwọn arìnrìn-àjò lórí owó ọkọ̀ òfurufú ilé ìtura visa àti àwọn ìpèsè fún ìsinmi kàn sí www.wakanow.com báyìí láti kópa nínú àwọn àrígbádùn tó jọjú wọ̀nyí tàbí kó ṣàbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ojúde ìrìn-àjò wa ní Bond Mall, Ventura Mall àti Base One Plaza, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Gbangba ti dẹkùn. Waka Now. Gbégbégbé. Gbéra.
Dabon na the first and ogbonge herbal toothpaste. E get ingredients like lemon, mint, ginger, and basil wey dey make our teeth kakaraka.
Madam Rose, na true you talk o. Dabon na the cocoa herbal punch wey get plenty natural herbs. Dabon, the cocoa choice for my family.
I've got the passion to chase my dreams, to become who I wanna be. Add my flavor to my life and make it truly mine. Mama door, tasty food and nutrition, cooking oil, spread and seasoning. Explore your flavor with Mama Door.
Mama Door. Explore your flavor.
Ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí gángan ni o. Ìsọjí iṣẹ́ agbára Ọlọ́run ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́sàn-án tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Adenike Global Convention ọdún ayọ̀ ti 2022. Nínú pàgọ́ ìlà tó ti máa dedicate ẹ̀. Adenike Jesus City. Ọlọ́run tó pe wòlíì Sáàmù Olúwalú Adenike. Ó fẹ́ tú gbogbo èèyàn lẹ́nu convention eléyìí. Pẹ̀lú àkòrí Absolute Deliverance. Ọjọ́ Friday gẹ́gẹ́ November 25. The Sunday 4th December. Ní Ọlọ́run Ayọ̀ Babalọ́lá ti máa tú àwọn èèyàn sílẹ̀. Nípasẹ̀ ìpè ọ̀pọ̀ wòlíì májẹ̀mú. Àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò. Bùkọ́lá Akí Adéṣẹ́wọlé Jésù. Esther Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé. Ìlàjà Akétúndé Ọlọ́run Sọ́bẹ̀. Adéyínká Aláṣeyọrí. Pásítọ̀ Ẹ̀fọ́ Ọládélé CAC President. Wòlíì Sáàmù Olúwalú Adenike. Wọ́n á máa pàṣẹ ìtúsílẹ̀. Àǹfààní one-on-one counseling tó máa wà. Látọjọ́ Friday 25. The Sunday 4th December. Ní Adenike Jesus City. Ìbẹ̀jùlẹ́kì Ẹ̀pẹ́ Expressway. Ìlàmìjà Village. Aláró City nílùú Èkó.
Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited ń ṣàjọ̀dún ọdún méjì. Gbẹ̀dẹ̀mukẹ́ promo la fi ṣe láti sìn títí di ìparí ọdún. Olóko ògbówó ní Treasure Land Estate Lálàbàtà Abẹ́òkúta 100,000 naira péré ni. Greenland Estate Lálàbàtà yìí kan náà 200,000 naira péré nìyẹn. Achievers Estate nídò Ìbàdàn ó ti di 450 báyìí. Kings Park Estate ní Mọ́níyà 1 million naira péré ni. Bákan náà látúnilẹ̀ ní Rehoboth Park and Garden lélẹ́kùrú Mọ́níyà Sun City Estate Alábàtà Mọ́níyà. Lásìkò àjọ̀dún ọdún méjì àti Ember promo yìí ẹ wá kọ́fà tó lé lẹ̀. 100 blọọkù ń bẹ lẹ́sẹ̀pẹ́ fún gbogbo ń bá tó bá ṣe tá àti kọ́lé. Ẹ̀bùn ọdún ti kólẹ̀ falafala ráìsì ẹran òróró àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Èrò bá mi ká lọ sí Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited beside Aremu Block Industry opposite IITA Mọ́níyà Ìbàdàn tàbí second floor Osana House adjacent Mao filling station Ọlọ́run ṣògo road Abẹ́òkúta. 0901-697-4421 tàbí 081-3871-4860. Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited. Asọ̀dún ayọ̀.
32 FM 94.9.
Good to know you're there. 32 FM 94.9 Friday edition of the Break of Dawn newspaper review. I am Olutayo Ogunade.
I am Adenike Ademuwagun. Professor Ojedokun, good morning to you once again.
Yes, on top of the day once again.
So we're going to be starting from governors stealing local government funds, says Buhari. It was on the front page of the Punch this morning. And the National Union of Local Government Employees also backed the federal government's stance that state governors were looting local government allocation. Now, it seems like he's just noticing now.
Well, it seems he's just noticing now, but it also seems it's lamentation galore. He's the president, executive president of Nigeria. The agencies, even though they claim they're independent, EFCC, ICPC, and I asked the question that how many of the governors, ex-governors, even who have lost immunity whilst he's been president in the last 7.5 years, have been prosecuted for precisely that offense. So it's not enough for the president to come as if he's a social commentator to notice these things. The question people will ask, and the question we deserve, is what has this government done about it? What have they done about it through laws in the National Assembly? What have they done about it through prosecutory powers? So yes, it might be true that there's maladministration. It might be true that state governments are appropriating funds that they shouldn't through the local government. But we need more than that at this stage. We need government to take decisive action so that in future it ceases to happen.
All right, indeed. I, of course, reckon with your position on the capture of local government by our state governors. These days, we just take the speech from the president with a pinch of salt, because it's always about somebody, some people, never about himself taking, but indeed, this is a big story. Most of our local governments are not being allowed to effectively function. And if you're talking about poverty in Nigeria, it starts from the local government level. Why is it that the local government, arm of the is not really functioning effectively because of the overbearing nature of some of our governors?
I would also ask the question, why is it that the separation of powers in many of the states is not really functioning? If you go to many of the states, the separation of powers is not functioning, and that's because it's been frustrated many a times by the governors. I think the Constitution partly may be to blame, from that point of view, in the sense that, yes, it recognizes that there are three spheres of government in terms of the federal, the governor, state, and of course the local government. But the local government really gets its funds. If you look at it constitutionally, even though it's been argued legally, has been getting its funds through the states. If they get their funds through the states and not directly from the federal government, the temptation for states when they've run aground in terms of finances is to dip their fingers into the kitty, and that's exactly what is happening. Secondly, a lot of governors have abused, the provision of this caretaker arrangement, where they come in and then they set up caretakers. And even when they haven't set it up, the independent state electoral commissions really have been used by many states just to impose their own candidate. In many states, you have 100% all the time of local government elections. So where you have 100%, even if they were independent, and you belong to the same political party, the tendency, you understand, especially when the governor has sponsored your, your nomination form or whatever, the tendency is that you will do the bidding of the governor. And I think some of it, again, has to do with the process in which those people are selected.
What you also discover, based on the caretaker arrangement that you said now, is that way we extinguish local democracy. And that is why we complain about the democracy at the national level not functioning effectively, and saying this is not what we actually have. This is civil rule that we have and not proper democracy. It is because even at the local government level, we have not allowed it to function properly. But if the governors have criminally captured the local government administration in Nigeria, why are the legislators tolerating it?
Well, first and foremost, I think we have a weak legislature, both at the national and both at the state level. Why are they tolerating it? They're tolerating it because most of them owe their allegiance not to the people, but they owe their allegiance to the governors. In a situation, in some states, are you aware of the fact that some governors are the ones responsible for the nomination forms and ensuring that their election expenses are paid? If that happens, those people are going to be beholden not to the people that put them in, presumably, but to the governors. I think part of it, you understand, is the lack of accountability to the people, but more the accountability to the governor who put them there. I also think, that people themselves, that includes myself, in terms of awareness, we don't hold the local government to account. We hold the state government to account, but we don't hold them to account. So I have to ask the question, have we ever held the Oluyole local government to account in terms of roads and some of the things that they should be doing, refuse collection and the things that are under the local government pass? No. We keep on saying Governor Makinde or Governor Oyetola, ex-governor, and so on and so forth, but we never hold local government to account. I would ask you, who's the chairman today of Oluyole local government? I would ask you, who's the chairman of Ibadan South, and so on and so forth. Many people would not know, and that's part of the issue. So I think there needs to be some education from the press, from the political parties themselves, and so on and so forth, as to who these people are, so that we can hold them by the scruff of the neck when things go wrong in our local areas.
Okay, and still on the punch, politicians behind attacks on INEC facilities. The former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atairo Jega, has blamed reckless politicians for attacks on INEC facilities across the country. He said the federal government must protect the commission to discharge its duties. Is this a ridiculous accusation?
No, it's not. Remember that Jega was a former chairman.
So he's talking from experience.
Yeah, so he's speaking from experience. But I also think that some would say it's logical because all of a sudden, local government offices have been attacked. Who gains? Who benefits most? The people that benefit most when local government offices are attacked and ballot boxes and so on are destroyed are politicians who think they do not have the support of the masses. If you had the support of the masses or the people, you would want to be tested electorally from that point of view. So I think it's valid. If these politicians are responsible, the next thing we then say is, why have they not been apprehended? What's our police doing in terms of investigation? Why have people not been prosecuted? So again, I would say again, yes, we make many allegations in this country, but when it comes to a follow-up, we are not able to do that. And I think the only deterrence to these politicians, if it's followed up, if they are named, if they are shamed, prosecuted, apprehended, and of course sentenced accordingly.
Well, I don't know what you call this. In order to have peace and freedom, some northern communities are paying terrorists who is called a protection, or what is called a protection levy. This is what is happening in some northern parts, in some part of northern Nigeria. What do you make of this story?
Well, large swathes of, well, I won't say large swathes, but there are particular swathes of Nigeria that have been lost to terrorists. The claim of this APC government is that no territory of Nigeria is under, terrorist or under foreign influence or whatever the case might be. When taxation, you see, the definition of taxation is that constituted legal authorities, you understand, are able to impose compulsory, backed by legal authority and sanction, able to impose taxes. And when you have people that are not legally constituted imposing taxes, it means that we've lost governance, we've lost those weights of areas or territories, we've lost them to the terrorists. In other words, it means that part of Nigeria is not even being governed by the state government or indeed by the federal government. And it's a worrisome tendency because those people, if they don't pay those taxes, they're going to be kidnapped, they're going to be raped, they're going to be maimed, from that point of view. And you have to ask the question, what are the security forces doing? They're overstretched, they're under-equipped, and of course, the structure, of course, does not enable them to do it. And why is this not being questioned by the National Assembly? You must ask the question a lot, all the time. What's the National Assembly doing? What are the respective states of assembly doing? These are situations where in normal climes, a state of emergency would have been declared. Because it's unacceptable that parts of Nigeria are being controlled by local, whatever you call them, who are taxing people and putting them under the rule of the gun.
Well, Obasanjo says we get away with so many stupid things in Nigeria.
Well, he should know he was president, has been president longer than anybody. I think what it means is that people are hardly prosecuted when they commit misdemeanors, when they commit crimes. When they commit misdemeanors and crimes. I think that is his grouse. And I think, again, his concern is that there are lots of things going on in Nigeria, lots of people falsify documents, get into government, and yet they're still in charge, and nobody's prosecuting them from that point of view. But I must criticize this revered former president because when he was president too, people got away with a lot of things. And what did he do precisely to deal with those things? He would suggest that he set up the EFCC. He would suggest that he set up the ICPC. But even during those times, people were still getting away with things. So yes, he has the benefit of the fact that he has experience, but people will say that some of those things have their genesis even within his administration.
NPC begins campaign to curb population explosion. The National Population Commission launched the revised National Population Policy Strategic Implementation Plan to control population growth and fertility in the country. Now, I think this is a welcome development, but when I read the article, there was no concrete plan on how this could be achieved. And this is what we do as a country. We say we need to implement something and we don't show our workings.
it's typical of most of the stories that we are analyzing today, that yes, people make proclamations, they make lamentations. At the end of the day, the follow-through is not. It's quite obvious that our population is growing at a very monumental, some might say alarming rate. It's good if, of course, you exploit it for markets, for productivity, and so on and so forth, because the larger your population, it should aid the boost your economy and your markets and so on and so forth. But when the economy is not growing, when, of course, facilities are not there, when infrastructure is decrepit and so on and so forth, then population growth, it becomes an albatross around your neck. And so what do we do about it? There's the education. I know that many of these HMOs and so on and so forth do a lot of education about all these, things that limit birth control and so on and so forth. But that works in the cities, doesn't necessarily work in the villages, and you need to see some of the accommodation that some of these people live in, about 8 people in a room and so on and so forth, because obviously there's uncontrolled.
How can we possibly control population growth? If it's not controlled, we agree,
yes,
it could derail our economic development, but how can we, really control it?
Well, part of it is education, because you discover that the very educated ones are having 1 or 2. You understand? But the ones that are not educated, you understand, the agberos, if I may use that, and in many instances, the market women. Pardon?
The North.
Yeah, well,
cultural.
Yes, because there's cultural and there's education. You discover that in parts of the country, yes, she's mentioned the North, you understand, because of the limits of education and so on and so forth. There's much of it. And then people marry in parts of the country that you've mentioned now at a very young age. And when you start at a young age, of course, what it means is that you keep on giving birth up to a period of time. So I think education does matter. And I think the government's seriousness, the political will, most governors, or governments rather, don't have the political will. There has to be the political will.
There's also a relationship between poverty and omobere. When you're poor, you tend to, give birth to plenty.
Yes.
Like they say, and sex is the poetry of the poor.
Yes. But part of it is because if you are productively engaged and very busy with, you understand, the tendency is that you have less time, you understand, to concentrate on. But where you said poverty, poor, underemployment and stuff like that, idleness and so on and so forth, then it happens. A lot of these people, it's not even man and wife a lot of times. It's people playing around, you understand, just messing around and having kids all over the place. And of course, that adds to the population growth.
Okay, away from that, we can also find from the Daily Post here says educators differ on mother tongue teaching. Primary school educators have expressed challenges over the mother tongue teaching policy. There's a new policy about making the mother tongue a compulsory medium of instruction from primary 1 to primary 6, and some teachers and proprietors seem to be against the idea, saying that the government didn't make research on how many teachers can speak the local language of the community they reside in, and how many teachers can even speak their mother tongue.
I don't think it's a bad policy. But I think in terms of implementation, if you don't have the people that can teach it, if you don't have the people that can bring it to bear, then you're wasting your time. So, of course, the government can implement the policy, but they have to also give a roadmap as to how this is going to be actualized. It is true that people of this generation, many of them, may not even be able to speak the language adequately. And if you can't speak it adequately, then how do you teach it? And even if you can speak it adequately, that might not be necessarily basis for you to be able to teach it. They're two different things, from that point of view. So I think, the preparation needs to be made for it, and not enough preparation has been made for it. So that policy will see good idea, but no basis for implementation, or rather, they don't have, they've not resourced it well. And so, of course, it will continue to be a pipe dream until that is done.
All right, I have this story here. Oil producing states borrow 1.3 trillion naira amid 6.4 trillion naira windfall.
6.4, 1.1, is it 1.3?
1.3, right.
Yes. Well, you have to ask the question. They have to justify where they need to borrow when they are getting this windfall. And I think Wike exposed it. Wike has been going around, commissioning projects. Whether you think they're vanity projects or not, at least it's showing some value for money. And of course, he makes some donations also, by the way. But what of the state governments? Many of them have nothing to show. It tells you that there's something going amiss. And I would expect ICPC or EFCC, whatever they are called, you understand, to actually investigate this and to pursue it. Some will say yes, they should, but that corruption is so among us there that they may never get to the bottom of it. But what is clear to the people and the masses is that there's something going amiss, and I would expect the electorate to hold these governors accountable. You must ask the question, what's the respective states of assembly doing? Why are they not interrogating this? I think your guess is as good as mine.
We'll take another break. We will be back.
FM 94.9.
Wow! Knowing you're running on is one thing, going for it is another. That is why you're enjoined not to settle for less when you can actually win big and flex as you like on VetWGB.com. Oh yes, VetWGB.com is a win-win platform that puts smile on your face whenever you bet on it. Repackaged and renewed for unlimited market options, highest odds, unmatched accumulated bonus, beautiful event selection, unbeatable in-play cash out, simplified access, fantastic user interface with an array of products like sports bets, slot, virtual soccer, roulette, lucky balls, and lots more, alongside mouth-watering bonuses. See what I mean? VetWGB.com is still the wise choice.
Everybody won't connect to something greater. Connect to the moment, the winning goal, to history. You know fit do am now. Watch a FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 on Showmax Pro. Oh yeah now. Stream all 64 matches of the World Cup live from Super Sport on Showmax. Experience every game, anywhere, on up to 2 devices. It is available in HD and 4K also. It joke. Almost sign up now at showmax.com.
àwọn nǹkan bẹ tí ẹni lọ́kàn àti àmà ní akíkanjú ni wọ́n sì máa ń dán nǹkan láwò. níbo ló máa wà lọ́jọ́ kẹrin oṣù December ọdún yìí? ìjọ ti ṣetán fún ìdíje ayárabíàṣá. ìjọ ti gbáradì fún àríyá tí kò lẹ́gbẹ́. gbáradì fún àríyá fanfaro autofest tó máa wáyé ní Trans Amusement Park Ìbàdàn lọ́jọ́ kẹrin oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2022. àríyá yẹn wò ó máa loud gan. Fearless aṣíwájú nínú àwọn energy drink ló ṣàgbátẹrù fanfaro autofest. Fearless gba àríyá mọ́ra.
On my way, I get one question for you. Sure you know say better sleep they improve how you dey live. Oh. If you rest for better form like Muka phone, you go enjoy your life, oh. You go battle yourself, oh. For play or for work, Muka phone. Now we can they want oh. Quality guaranteed, Muka phone. Satisfaction and shadow. Medical endorsement, we get them. We don't pay our dues. Affordable product, we confirm that. Muka phone, yo. Muka phone, na correct. Muka phone, na baba. Muka phone, na forest. Muka no get our. If you the talk of comfort, if you the talk of rest, yo. If you want value for your money, na Muka phone, yo.
Muka, adding comfort to life since 1959.
Wakanao Travel Fest is back, and it's a showdown all through November. Enjoy unbeatable travel deals on flights, hotels, visas, and holiday packages. Visit www.wakanao.com now to get these amazing deals, or visit our travel centers at Bond Mall, Ventura Mall, and Base 1 Plaza, Ring Road, Ibadan. Ladies and gentlemen, the showdown is here. Wakanao, let's go.
God bless Nigeria. Live, work, and study in Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, Cyprus, South Africa, and India. Become a permanent resident of Canada. Best country to live. Work in the United Kingdom as a skilled worker, a health worker, a caregiver, and enjoy a family life in the UK. Start your 2023 migration travel and tour plan now through NTT Go Abroad. Register for your visa process now at nttgoabroad.com and NTT Go Abroad app with 50% discount at Online Dynamics Limited, 4th floor, Cocoa House, Dugbe, Ibadan, and Stallion Hillside, Jericho, Ibadan, and collect your Christmas gifts instantly. Migration, travels, and tours. NTT Go Abroad. Integrity, expertise, and experience. 0810-273-8145. NTT Go Abroad. Powered by Online Dynamics Limited. Registration closes December 16th.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM 94.9. Welcome back from the commercial break. We open the phone lines now. 0809 7000 949, 0906 200949, and 0705 500949. You can also drop your comments on Facebook. We take the comments. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Adenike, I'm from. Good morning.
Good morning.
When President Muhammad Buhari accused our governors that they steal the mention, and Minister for State for Economic Development accused them of spending over 75% of their resources on their state capital, that they are contributing to poverty level in Nigeria. Nigerian Government Forum did not react. Now, there is no revelation about oil producing states. If EFCC now want to prove them now, they will go to court and restrain them from proving them. Our judiciary should be very careful so that corruption should be fight to be finished. My own advice is we should suspend the rule of law and fundamental human rights when we want to fight corruption. Have a nice time. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Prof.
Well, I'm a lawyer, so I can't really subscribe to that. But I agree that sometimes the law could get in the way of speedy prosecutions and so on. It's the implementation, not the law itself. If you suspend the rule of law, the law says it's better that one innocent person, you understand, that many innocent, many guilty people go free than one innocent person, you understand, be convicted. And I think that's the principle. Because where do we stop? Tyranny takes hold when you suspend the rule of law. In other words, anything goes from that point of view. Somebody may just accuse you without due process. Okay. So I think, yes, we need an emergency, but I don't think it's the suspension of the rule of law.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
My name is Wale Badmos.
All right.
Why we are the ruling a law? Why? All these elder, number one. Number two, these politicians, they are ready for their country. Oh my show.
Okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Your name?
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Mubashir, good to have you.
Let me be frank with ourselves. I've been always hammering on the restructuring of this country. This is the reason why. See, we can only enjoy dividends of democracy through local government legislative autonomy. That is the truth of the matter. They are the grassroots politicians. They are the grassroots government. Let us be frank with ourselves. So are you getting my point? Let the government do the needful.
Okay.
Thank you, Mubashir. But, Prof, do you agree that the current design of our local government is flawed and is not fit for purpose?
Well, I don't think so much is the current design. I think it's the implementation, and people are just determined to scuttle it. I think, yes, local governments, you understand, have some responsibilities, but you can't have a state and there will be no synergy between them and local governments. Local governments cannot be completely independent. There must be an extent. There must be an extent to which they have autonomy. So I think we need to find a midway between autonomy, which doesn't allow the states to just suspend local governments and impose, you understand, their caretaker, and then how they get their funds. There must be an independent stream, not necessarily going through the state governments.
0705 500949 and 0809 7949 to Facebook. Olutayo Oluwarotimi, we get it wrong. We are mixing native tongue with mother tongue, and the mother tongue is more complex than just the language a child is born with. We've got a call.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Olu from MLA. You see, my view about this local government office is that we are just sitting ourselves, sincerely. We should allow the state to create the number of local government that it can manage. But because they just want to list so that people that are not even supposed to be collecting money are collecting money. That's why we have 774 local governments. And they just lock it there. You can't create another one. And leave it to the state to create. Then so that if it is only 10 local government you can manage it. And you are not getting money directly from the from the federal government. Give money to the state. Let them create the number of state and local government they can operate. And let them finance it. Good morning.
Thank you. There are certain parts of this country, Prof, where people don't even go to work to the local government. They don't go to work.
No.
What happens is at the end of the month, they share the allocation, and they leave again.
Absolutely. There's a lack of monitoring, there's lack of accountability. And I heard what he said. What he's asking for is not local government autonomy, but the freedom of states to be able to create local governments. I think I agree with that to a certain extent. You can't fix the number of local governments. But I still feel if you don't have autonomy of local governments, you will not get development at the grassroots. And that's what we want.
All right, if you consider oil-producing nations like Qatar and how they continue to advance their nation using revenue from crude oil, you might ask what is Nigeria's issue? What Nigeria's issue might be if a liter of petrol costs 300 naira now and 450 naira in 2023 as projected. Then I think there is a problem with the fuel subsidies that the president is providing. Nigerians should be paying this much, shouldn't be paying this much for crude oil if the subsidy isn't a scam. Subsidies are a swindle in my eyes. This is Balkis on Adjoro there. Thank you. Good morning, Tayo and Adenike. On the issue of statement made by PMB yesterday concerning local government money stealing by governors, honestly, only local government full and financial autonomy can address the issues of rural underdevelopment, which we all know state governors have been against in collaboration with some of their colleagues in state and state assembly. Time will tell. That's from Raja Fiz Abidemi. Good morning, Adenike and Tayo. On the issue of statement, okay, I think I took this. Good morning, Prof is right. It's a form of social commentation for our president to be making comments. Governors are stealing local government funds when in actual reality, he can do something about this. Buhari also speaks this is like a social critic. He should he should provide solutions to the problem.
He should provide solutions. And some might say, well, 7 months to go, 6 months to go, maybe it's too late. Unfortunately, this has been a feature of his presidency, from that point of view. Is it still too late within 6 months to do certain things? I don't think so. OBJ, in 5 months, made some consequential decisions as president. And I think those who are handling President Buhari need to be able to get on their bike, do something about some of these problems he's mentioning, so that his legacy, at least, will be better.
Good morning. It is quite disheartening that Nigerians can be experiencing fuel scarcity despite being one of the leading oil-producing nations. This is not far-fetched from the inability of the current government to fulfill their promises of building enough refineries in 2015. It's a long run from Tolulope. We take some calls. 0809 7000 949 0705 5000 949.
And on Facebook, good morning, Adenike and Tayo. About state governors stealing local government fund. Honestly, Buhari is saying the truth about this issue. All local government across the country has been rendered useless by the governors. No visible development is observed. The local government workers are not allowed to function. The system is totally grounded. Hello?
Hello, Tayo back. I'm checking back. Listen, the President Muhammad Buhari cannot do anything about this local government fund being stealing. The jack, they have to eliminate jack. It is the state assembly that has the power. If Muhammad Buhari do it now, they will say he did not follow the rule of law or fundamental human rights. The state house assembly should do that. Have a nice time.
Thank you. We said it the other time they are complicit.
Yes, of course they are. And they're not doing their jobs. And now we are getting salaries, humongous amounts of allowances. And so we must call them to account. Elections are when we should call them to account, but I doubt if that's going to happen.
0705 500949 and 0809 7949 to share your thoughts this morning. And still on Facebook, Doyin Okukbe is an obedient. They know they give shishi. They don't like to contribute financially to the progress and development of their party because they know they give shishi. Okay, that's a long one.
Prof is not saying anything.
Well, this they know they give shishi. Is it really true that they don't give shishi? And I interrogate all these things and I take it with a pinch of salt. And the politicians, by and large, are basically the same. The same Donyo Cooper you're mentioning still has charges, you understand? I'm not sure those charges have been dismissed. So what's the difference? So at the end of the day, we have to make the best out of the so-called candidates. And when you look at their policies, what's the difference in terms of policies that they're articulating? So it's a beauty pageant, and we just have to make our choice from the three that are presently presented.
Okay, it's time for us to go, but really quickly, the 32 FM Laughter Santa is happening at Coco Mall, Dugbe, Ibadan. Tickets are selling for, the latter card is selling for 2,000 naira from now till December 24, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So come on, come all. You can contact Auntie Yellow on 0803 651 5050. Again, 0803 651 5050.
My name is Olutayo Ogunade, and she is Adenike. Ademuwagun.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the guest analyst and do not necessarily reflect the recommendations or perspectives of 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan.
Get ready for radio like you never thought was possible.